guys, welcome to another episode of Stroom Stories. So today we're visiting V and her free roaming cat colony, and we're going to show you some of the cats a little bit later on, but for now we're just going to talk to V a little bit. So V, why don't you introduce yourself and tell people who you are and what you're doing here?
Okay, hi everyone, I'm V. Rasmus. I've been living in Potchefstroom for 8 years now, and ever since coming to Potch, I saw an absolute need with various cats, either what is referred to as kitties or feral cats, and got involved with trying to assist and aid these poor cats in desperate need. That I did for several years, and then about 2 years ago got involved here at Paws, helping the free roaming colony down here. I saw the need, that there was help needed, and we come here 3 times a week, myself and my worker, and clean up generally and feed the kitties. We not only give the dry food, which you call crunchies, cookies, pellets, there's so many names for them, but also wet food, being chicken and rice or mince and rice, because it's just that extra nutrition to try and help build their systems. And then also, in addition to that, we give milk with probiotics in it that also aids the kitties with their whole general well-being, their immune system. And then, as you'll see when you go around the shelter, we build various little shelters for them to go in with mattresses and blankies, things like that. There's patios on the outside because the cats love to sit in the sun and just laze around and come and clean up and all that kind of thing. Cats here, there's about 100 at this point in time. All the kitties are available for adoption. We take care of them as best we can, but obviously there's always a need, and will be greatly appreciated any help from anybody on various fronts, you know, whether it's donating food, materials that we need to fix the shelters with, build more, put up some fencing, a piece of astroturf is highly needed to finish off this little area, to come and just be with the kitties, and of course food. Food is always something that we're constantly begging for, because there are so many that need to be taken care of.
Of course. Okay, so tell us, when did you start over here?
Basically 2 years ago, and yeah, I've been doing it ever since. When I first started coming, it's about 2 years ago. It was in July last year. So then it was ad hoc here or there, and then of course I just saw, no, this need is much greater, so then it became a twice a week, and now it's a 3 times a week, and often even more than that, just depends on the situation.
Okay, so you said you feed the cats 3 times a week. So tell us a little bit about the process, what that is like, because I know it's not just coming here and giving them crunchies. it's a process.
Yeah, no, it's a bit more involved than that, because there's so many. There's a lot of bowls all have to be cleaned. It's part of keeping them healthy again. So we put down 50 bowls at one time. We first give them the milk with probiotic in it. When they finish drinking that, we'll then put down the wet food. When they've finished eating that, then we collect all these bowls again. We've got to take them home, have them all washed, ready for the next feed. And then you'll see there's other bowls, 32 of them, that stay here permanently. And into that we then feed the crunchies or the dry food. And we go through 10 kilograms per day. So it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
But when you consider there's 100 cats, and you work that equation out, it's 100 grams of dry food per day per cat. So then it's not a lot. Yeah. And that translates to 300 kilograms a month. Yeah. So yes, we need a lot of food to feed the fur babies.
And it's just for these cats. It's not even
just for these cats. It's got nothing to do with another however many inside. Yeah,
that's a lot. Okay, so I know you don't need just dry food. There's a lot of other things that you need for looking after the cats and everything. So what are some things that people can maybe donate for you to help the cats?
Absolutely. So we've gone through this. Obviously the dry food is very important, and then Wildsvlees, molvlees, I think you call it. So,
Yes.
because I use that, it's healthier than the normal mince to cook up for them. So I'm always on the hunt for venison, as we call it in English, but it's got to be the mince meat.
Yes.
Rice, because that's what we give with it. And then plant milk. I mix that 50-50 with water, and they get that. We do have enough things like bowls and blankies at the moment, so right now we're okay with that. But that's on the food side, that will be most important.
And then maybe like what other things, because I know you fixed up, we'll talk about the shelters a little bit later, all the shelters that you built and everything, but do you still need like astroturf or?
Absolutely. When you have a look around here, you'll see a lot has been put in, but there's a stretch over here that doesn't have, and it's just sand, and that sand, it blows in the wind, and when it rains it's mud, so that's not nice. So if some kind soul would be willing to donate a piece of astroturf, even if it's second-hand, no problem, it will be great just to finish off this area and get it looking all perfect, spiffing. The other thing is that I've just recently bought, as you can see, we redid the 3 shelters here with the plastic that goes around to secure it, to make it warm for them, especially this time of the year. But you always need the plastic because it perishes with the weather, and also the cats jumping up, scratching, and then it's got to be replaced.
Of course.
So that would be great as well.
Okay, and then I know it's winter, so the fly traps aren't as necessary now. Oh, they're always necessary.
They're always necessary. Again, if you have a look around, the 6 I've got up currently are full. Right now it's not a big fly problem. No, it's a big problem in summertime. And we need like 6 per week. And they're like 100 Rand for each one. So again, it all adds up. But because these are full, it would be great to get some new fly traps to put up that will last a little while then.
Okay, cool. And then, let me think what else that I wanted to ask you. I had like a whole list of questions, and when I sat down now, my mind just went like blank.
There's so much.
Yeah, there is actually so much. Okay, so maybe we should start at, how do the cats end up here, and where do they come from?
Okay, so most of the cats here, unfortunately, are, as I term, the weggooikatjies. They've been abandoned. And again, tragically, it's a weekly occurrence that when I arrive here, there's a new face. The problem is, unlike surrendering your cat to any shelter, if it's just dropped off, dumped, basically, then that cat doesn't belong to the shelter, so it cannot be taken in and put into the cages and go for adoption, etc. Then it stays outside on these premises. So that's where the majority of these cats come from. They were domesticated house cats that have just been thrown away.
Oh yeah.
There are a few that have come from elsewhere. They could have been feral, they could come from somewhere else that they've got lost, and they will naturally gravitate here because there's food and shelter.
Okay, so how many cats were here when you began, like 2 years ago?
Around about 104, and then they come and go. Unfortunately, some won't make it due to illness or just old age. But then as those are going, new ones are always coming in. But then we've also had some adoptions. So that's, but we're still sitting around 100 at this point in time.
So the turnover rate is about, for every one that gets adopted, you get one.
10 back.
Yeah, it is like that. It is like that. We spoke a little earlier about your kittens. Yes. So you just got like the first batch out, and then
a day later you get more back in. Yeah, that's how it goes. So it's ongoing. Unfortunately, it never stops. There's not enough adoptions for the amount that are being dumped.
And then maybe we should also talk about why people should consider adopting like these cats, the older cats, instead of the kittens. Because I think that's something that keeps occurring, is people go and adopt kittens, but they don't go like the more mature cats.
It's always been that way, sadly, for the older cats and dogs. It's the same old. I think most people, it's just a natural thing. We all Google Gaga over anything small, whether it's a baby or an animal. And I think a lot of people also think, if I get a kitten, it will fit into my household better. I can groom it the way I want it. I might have small children. It will. They'll get along better. It won't hurt my child. All these sort of things. But in fact, the older cat brings so many other benefits because you're not going to have babies with them. You don't have them walking around. They're beyond that. You don't have the issues of them getting all the childhood diseases. I mean, an animal's the same as a baby. So there's those other plus benefits. Plus, these cats, when they're slightly older, they've gone through their baby stage just like a human. So you're not going through the terrible 2s to 4s and all those kind of things, waking in the middle of the night, feeding, doing whatever. They do their own thing. They're so easy. They're just around. And all they want is a home again to call their own and to be loved.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So they're very loving and they're very calm, docile, lovely pets for somebody. You know?
That's very true. And I also think that like when you adopt a kitten, it's kind of like a lottery about what cat you're going to get, because you don't know what that cat's personality is going to be like when they grow older.
Yeah.
But when you come here, you see the cats and you immediately...
And that's who it is now. It's already formed. It's not going to change.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I also wanted to ask you, you do not only feed the cats and clean up here. I know when a new cat comes in, there's a whole process that you go through to look after that cat. So can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, basically every new cat that comes in, and as you well know, I know each and everybody by name. I know what they look like, even though there's 15 black ones, I can tell you who's who, for as an example. So when I see a new face, I'm like, hey, who are you? Come here. Now, many I can touch initially, many I can't. Most of the time it's because they're terrified. They've just gone through a traumatic experience. They're taken out of a warm home environment where they looked after, fed, the signs, smells, people, and now they found themselves here. They don't know where they are, what's going on, and it is really quite tragic. So it may take me a couple of days or even weeks with some of them, but once I can get close enough, then I do a little inspection, see how they're doing physically, whether they need to be tracked and taken up for medication, and then I document each and every one. So there's a photo, I give them all names, and they've got obscure, different, funny, unique names, depending on their personalities or colorings. We then also have them sterilized, because what we cannot have here is a whole bunch of unsterilized cats. You're just going to have litters after litters, and it just exacerbates the issue. So it's very important to get them sterilized as soon as possible and then fit them into the colony. But a lot of the cats, because they're so overwhelmed with so many other cats around them and not knowing their surroundings, we built the quarantine shelter. So as a new kitty or cat comes in, we do take them if we can get our hands on them, but as soon as we can, put them in quarantine for up to 2 weeks, just to get them used to the environment, the cats outside, and the outside cats, the rest of them, all used to that new kitty, so you don't have the fighting and or trying to chase the new cat out of their territory. Because unfortunately that can happen. If they just hear, the other cats often chase them out, and then tragedy happens because they're on their own and running around and so on. The second point, and quite importantly, when a new cat comes in, we don't know what disease it might have or carrying, and if it's brought into the colony, it can infect the whole lot. Then we sit with all those issues. So it's very important to quarantine and just observe and medically treat as well if it needs to be done.
And then I also want to talk about, because I know when you started here 2 years ago, it didn't look like it does now, that you put a lot of work into like fixing the place up a bit. So can you tell us a bit about that and what like restorations you've done?
Yes, sure. Look, there were 2 of the shelters on the premises, but obviously cats don't generally live in big packs. These are quite unique. They probably forced to, they have no choice, but usually they're quite solitary, or 2, 3 together. And I also found, although the 2 big shelters were up, they weren't enclosed. So when it's very cold, wind, rain, it comes in, etc. So it wasn't sufficient. Obviously things were done to the best of one's ability with resources that the people had, but it needed more to be done. There's no question. So all the big shelters, what we've done is we've enclosed them with the plastic, we've fixed all the leaking roofs so that they are secure. If they go in there, they're not going to get wet, cold, etc. There were some beds around, but we've now obviously put beds in all of the shelters with blankets now in the winter time. We come, as I say, every week, and then twice a week we actually take all the blankets out, fluff them out outside to get rid of cat hair, sand, things like that, and then put them all back nicely. And then in addition to that, obviously we put up the quarantine shelter here for the reasons I've already stated, and then we've built another 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's 3 inside, another 6 of the little shelters as well. So, and then recently, last week, somebody donated that little housey there. They did donate it directly to Paws, but they brought it down for the cats here because they've got sufficient inside there. So it's always utilized somewhere. We're very grateful for any of these kind of things, and they do like that kind of thing.
Oh,
So that's in the shelters. Then unfortunately there was just the sand, as you've seen, and as I've already explained, the wind, the dust all over the kitties, the stuff, the food, and when it rains then mud. So we've done our level best. We've put in some nice grass in the front and the back, the astroturf in 3/4 of the area. There was a brick paving, but we've redone it and made it bigger, etc., so that you can walk, you can sit, you can, you know, just make it a happy space for the kitties.
Of course.
Because this is their home.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's where we sit.
And then I also think we should talk about the expenses of running this place, because I don't think people realize
Get
how
into the
much.
nasty bit.
Yeah, no, but it's true. Like it's something people need to know, because I think people think as well. Even if you do look after the cat, you maybe give them like crunchies 3 times a week, and that's all you do. But it's not.
No, it's certainly not.
There's a lot that goes into it. So I think maybe we should talk about that as well.
Basically, when you take all the food that has to be given, when you take the labor, not of myself, obviously I'm a volunteer, I give freely of my own time, but you cannot expect workers to work for free. So there's a cost involved with them. And any medications like probiotics, things like that. Then also building new shelters or fixing the shelters. This all costs money. So at the end of the day, we looking at the bottom line is 10 to 12,000 rand a month to run this little section over here. Certainly 10 on the foods and so on. The rest will be when you need the extra roll of plastic, or you need to build a new shelter, or you need to buy fly traps, and, you know, all those kind of things. Then it adds that little bit extra there.
And I think people also don't necessarily know, but you fund a lot of it, because I know Paws, because for people who don't know, this is on Paws' premises. It's right next door. But Paws feeds the cats 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
It was 3 times a week. Now they're doing 4 times a week, but that's with the crunchies. With the milk and the probiotics in it and the cooked food, I still do it 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Which you also,
and then crunchies as well, obviously.
But which you also fund by yourself.
I fund all of that myself.
And I don't think people know that, because I think people think you're a volunteer, but maybe you still get help from Paws in that sense.
Yeah, no. Paws look after the kitties the 3-4 days a week, and then I look after them myself those other 3 days a week. But anything that I then provide on those 3 days that I'm here comes from my own pocket. So it's, paying for the food, the crunchies, the cooked food, the milks, and then anything to do with fixing shelters, putting down grass, building, etc. comes from my pocket. Because unfortunately, not just here, with every shelter, there is a huge lack of resources. So your money can only go so far, you know, and the first priority is to feed, not build shelters or make it pretty with grass and paving and things like that, you know.
It's to keep the kitties alive.
So, all that kind of thing I do from my own pocket. But also, I've also got a budget, and it only stretches so far. So that I'd like to do a lot more. I need the funding to be able to do that lot more. So it's slowly, but over the 2 years, we've taken it to where it is now.
Yeah, and it looks a lot better. I know you showed me some photos of what it looked like when you started, and it looks great.
Yeah, it's a nice little happy home for them. You can see when you video around, the kitties are happy, they're comfortable here, and they actually have quite a lovely life because they can come and go, but they always stay around, and they do have the food and the shelter and the medication if it's necessary for that type of thing.
So if people want to come visit, they can?
Absolutely, anytime. All our request is that they park in the parking lot at the top and not drive down this little road, because the kitties are around and running, and situations happen. So if one just parks in the parking, walks down, it's a few hundred yards,
it's not far.
and then you come down here, bring a treat, interact with the kitty. It's a beautiful space to be with so many beautiful cats around you. Just sit, relax, give them some love. If you want to be more energetic, you can bring a rake, a fork, a broom and clean up. You can bring a poop scoop and pick up all the poopers for the kitties. You can do whatever. You're always welcome. Help is always welcome and always appreciated. The same with any funding. It's highly needed and greatly appreciated.
And then I also wanted to ask you, if someone comes down and they fall in love with one of the cats, what's the adoption process like?
People coming down will fall in love with one or more of the cats.
Definitely. I love like at least 6 of them.
Well, I love 100. There we go. But obviously we can't have them all. So all the kitties are available for adoption, apart from maybe 10% of the wilder ones that will never go to a home. They've been here a long time. This is their home. They'll stay. But many of them are domesticated house cats. They'll fit very easily back into a home. The same adoption process applies at any shelter, or certainly here at Paws. However, having said that, so you would have to fill in the documentation, and normally there is a fee payable. The fee is not for the kitty. The fee is for medical treatment. So what Paws actually does with all adoptions, and all shelters work that way, is that the fee includes deworming, the first set of vaccinations, and microchips. So if kitty goes missing, we know who it belongs to and can get them back together as soon as possible, and also sterilization. The fee is 600 Rand. And when you consider everything being done, it's a very reduced, reasonable fee. So it's just the actual cost for everything. You're not being charged at all for the vet's time, things like that would happen at a normal private vet. However, most of these kitties have been sponsored. So what that means is other people have paid that fee on behalf of who's ever going to adopt. So there's no fee payable. Having said that as well, if the kitty, that's the bigger cats, if they're smaller kitties and they're not yet sterilized, the fee does apply, because then we've got to do all of that. But most of them have already been sterilized and so on, so the fee won't apply. And then just lastly, however, if people still want to donate that fee or anything else, again, it's not required, but it will be greatly appreciated, because then those resources are put into something else to aid the animals.
Yeah, the rest of them.
Absolutely.
Oh, shame. I think we should actually also show people some of the cats.
Yes, before my beauties disappear.
Yeah,
they've been waiting around a while.
I think you can kind of see in the background, but it's feeding time now. So,
yes.
So they just ate, or they're busy eating.
They're going to be eating, yeah. Well, they're busy eating, yes. So you can video around the kitties and see and so on, and then
I think you should walk with me,
I will
and
do
then
that.
you can maybe tell people some of their stories, like who they are, what they're like, where they come from, how long they've been here, all of that. Okay, I'm gonna let me just flip my camera around. Okay, here we go.
Right, you can start with this beautiful little boy down here. This is Toffee. Toffee came in only about 2 months ago. Toffee wouldn't let anybody touch him because he was terrified. Now, this is my little Toffee. It actually comes for loves. He's my sweetheart. There's sweetie for you. This here is little Peaches. Peaches has been here a long time. Sterilized female, placid, beautiful cat.
Shame.
See Toffee over here. This little darling over here. This is Venus. Come here, my baby. Come here. She's also quite new here. I love it to death. Yes, okay, baby. Sorry, if you don't want me to pick you up right now. She's usually quite friendly. That little one came at 2 months of age. You know, can you imagine a poor little kitty being dumped here at 2 months of age?
Shame.
And this is little Beauty, because she is so beautiful.
Yeah, she is beautiful.
And we've got a whole bunch over here, you can see. Okay, so this is Fritz. This is one of our older residents. Fritz is a male. He is sterilized, and Fritz just loves to be loved.
Fritz is one of my favorite cats here.
Exactly. I know that. Fritz you can love all day long. He
Yeah.
never has enough of being loved. These are now obviously all eating, as you can see. That's little Rain sitting over here. She has the biggest, beautiful, round, big eyes. She's too busy eating, so she's not going to look at you now. But she's a lovely, docile, beautiful cat. And this boy over here is our oldest resident, Bandit. He will always stay here. Bandit's not adoptable. He's used to being out here and won't do well in a home. But little Rain will, who have I got over here? This is Tomiki. You see, they're eating. Now we're disturbing them with their food. So, but look at Fritz. Fritz will always smile for the camera, and Fritz will always come for a love. And look how dirty you are.
Oh, shame.
Fritz has been having sand baths, as most of them do. They actually love to have their sand baths. This is beautiful Bella. Bella's also been here about 4 or 5 years. And this is dear old Wilhelmine. I love Wilhelmine to death. Wilhelmine is a female. She's about 5 or 6 years old. She's been here for about 4 or 5 years. Wilhelmine is very, very docile, very gentle, very, very, very loving. Just wants to be loved all day long. Little more Wilhelmine. And she's the kitty that likes to roll over on her back and have her tummy rubbed.
Oh, shame.
The last time you were here, and there's some little treats. See how you feel about those, my babies. There you go. We just put some down like that, and they can go for them. Yes, my toffee boy. Look at you, all your boys. I go all goo goo gaga, as you can see. Kitty, sorry, I know the Mad Hatter cat lady. This here is beautiful Gucci. Gucci is an older female. They've been here 4 or 5 years. A very gentle, calm kitty. Also, obviously sterilized. And she's the sister of the big male, Sylvester. I think he's around over that side.
Okay.
There you go, my babies. Let's just give them all a little few treats. This is poor little old Maggie. There's Maggie. There's Hope. Hope is a beautiful female cat. Been with us a little while. Dumped late last year. Hope, come here, my sweetheart. Why are you running from your mother? Oops. Come here, my Hope. There you go, my baby. Beautiful older female. Very calm and docile. The females generally are. They're very placid, you know. And there's beautiful Sally. Sally's also, and Destiny. These two love to be loved. Very, very calm, very loving kitties. There you go. Hey, babies. Let's see who we've got around this side. Love this little boy to death. Little Panda has the most beautiful big eyes. He's a little skittish because he's only been here a short while, but when you get him in your arms, and I think also the peacocks are scaring them because they do attack them. I always have to chase them away. When you get him in your arms, he just collapses and purrs like a tractor.
Oh,
he's the most beautiful thing under the sun. Here is Big Sylvester. He's the brother of Gucci over there. And that's my special boy, Marmalade. Love him to absolute death. Here you go, my beautiful boy. Here's my Sylvester. Here's some treats for you. Look at that. See what you think about that. There you go. Marmalade. Hello, my beautiful boy. Come here, my buddy. And look at that. Another very docile baby. She's been here a long time. Now she wants to eat, you see.
It's feeding time.
While they're eating is maybe not a good thing because they don't want to look at the camera. This is beautiful big boy, Clementine. Hey, you my big baby.
Oh,
he's been here a long time.
He's a big boy.
Clementine was a feral.
Yeah, really?
Look at this. You see? You can re-domesticate cats. It's just time. And he loves to be loved. Look at this one all over me. Chloe. Chloe, you even left your food to come and get a little love. Yeah. Oh, and here comes Prancer. And she's called Prancer because she trots like a horse.
Shame, she's beautiful.
They're all beautiful.
Yeah.
You my big boy. Here you go, Clementine. There's some treats for you. They're all after the treats now. Here, Maggie. This is little Maggie. There's Chloe. Let's give them all a few just down there. You can see Hope eating. There's my beautiful girl, Princess.
Oh, shame.
Princess came to us about a year ago.
Yeah.
I'll show you her face now. Here's Destiny. She must be the calmest, gentlest little girl we've got in the colony. Sterilized, 5, 6 years old, same as this little one coming next to her. This is Jet, also very loving. And this is my Princess over here. I'm disturbing because she wanted to drink water. But look at this baby.
Oh,
Look at that face.
she's so cute. She's beautiful.
And here, okay, she's also going to be cross with me because she's eating. But this is Oma.
Oh, shame.
Oma is very, very docile. Oma just wants a lap to curl up in.
How old is she now? Do you know?
It's about 6 years old.
Oh, shame. So she is a senior.
7 years old. Remember, because we don't often know exactly the estimate.
Yeah.
Because we don't know where they come from, what the situation, who they were with, how old they are. But we try and tell by the teeth and the size and things like that as to their age. This is beautiful Chloe. Chloe just wants to be loved 24/7. And you can see how they fit in, how they interact with each other. There's not much fighting. It can happen. There's 100 cats.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
But generally speaking, you don't have that issue at all. Who have we got in the side? There's beautiful Sabrina. She came to us only in December last year. Here's little Beauty. She's still a young female. She is sterilized. She's probably going just on a year now, just under a year now. Actually, just under a year. This is our old man Rex. Love Rex to bits. He's a very docile cat for a male. He just lazes around, happy to be loved and fed, and that's all he actually wants.
Shame.
There's a spot over there. I actually call her App because if you rub her near her back end on the top, then she goes.
Shame.
So, even though her name is Spot because of the little white, maybe she'll do a daily Spot. Come here. Here's a little now. As soon as you rub down there, this is our old lady, one of my favorites. If I could find a home for this dear old lady,
Yeah, she's so sweet.
I would be overjoyed. This is Stormy. She's been here a long time, and Stormy just wants a lap to sit on and to be loved. It's as simple as that. There you go, my babies. I don't know who's got and who hasn't. There you go, little Spot. Sweetheart.
Yeah, she was actually, when I got here this morning, she came up to me and she was sitting by me.
She will. She loves
she's
people.
so sweet.
She loves to be loved, and she is very, very calm. She will laze around. She'll be perfect for an older lady or a man to keep them company 24/7.
Oh, shame.
Yeah. So will Wilhelmine. Same situation with Wilhelmine. Same situation with Sally. Same situation with Chloe. And then over here, let me see, we got Shame. Big old Dexter, an older male. Dexter had quite a tragic past. He was living with 2 siblings in a shopping centre, basically, on the outskirts of it, etc. He came in very sick. Somebody did bring him in. And he was so thin. It was frightening. We didn't actually know if Dexter would make it.
Shame.
And as you can now see, look how big and fat Dexter is. And your body. I know I took you away from your food. I'm terrible. Very calm, placid older male. Look at these cats.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Anyway, so there we go. That's little Angel, but Angel's new and hasn't quite settled enough yet for adoption. This is Sue Ellen. Beautiful
Sue Ellen.
Sue Ellen. Come here, Sue Ellen. Running. Running for food. Oh, sorry, my Jedi, wanting food. He's very greedy, this toffee. He comes in for everything that I give to anybody. There
Shame.
you go, my babies. There you go, Dexter. Is that beautiful? This is poor little Chance over here. Chance was actually born here to one of the feral cats. So was his 2 sisters. Look, not all the cats are around. They come and go, as you know. But Chance has become so friendly, happy, knows this is his home. Sweet little boy. Look at this one. You're not getting any smiles. Oh, show my baby. Come here. There you go, my baby. Who is this? Let me just see who's here. Oh, you know, baby, that's Jet. Okay, Jet. Sorry, my dear. Sometimes I just need to look at their faces because their bodies all look the same. There's my beautiful boy, Tommy. Love Tommy to death as well. Tommy, you haven't had any treats yet. Tommy's been here since I got here. No, not you, Fatso. He's very greedy, this one. Come on, take your food before he eats everything. There we go. Oh, my Dexter. Dexter wants more. Anya, you didn't bring enough treats.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
This is your little licorice, but she will probably stay here for a while longer because she's still got to get more domesticated.
Shame.
I can touch her, but she's very weary of others, so she'll have to just settle down for a little bit longer. And there's my big beautiful boy. Hello, darling. This is Midnight. Come here, Midnight. He was very wild, and now he's become quite domesticated. Midnight, what are you doing? He's calling me a liar right now. There comes Bella, beautiful Bella. This is dear little Maggie. There you go, Clementine. Here's Bella. Here's for you. And here's, you see, Greedy Guy. Always in action. He wants everything.
Shame.
And now we're just about out of these. And we've got most of the kitties will go here. I just want to see if by any chance I can get this beautiful little boy. I would really like someone to give this boy a home because he's still very young. He came here, his name is Panda, about 2 months ago with his sister Blackie. Oops.
Oh, shame, but he has beautiful eyes.
He's the most beautiful thing. I know he's running, guys, but when you, just because he's a bit afraid, but when you get him in your arms, he collapses and he purrs and is as content as can be.
Shame.
So, yeah, there's big old beige, been here for quite some time as well. And Greedy Guts, wanting more. Always want. Here's beautiful Sue Ellen. Come, Sue Ellen, you didn't have any treats, my darling. There's your treats. Here you go, my sweetheart. Oh, all after the treats. There you go. You, only one more, because you see I'm clawing me now. When little boys come back, all of my Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen is an older female, probably around 4 or 5 years old, very calm, very docile, just a bit skittish. It's nothing much. They'll settle once they're in somebody's home and know the routine and the people and so on.
Okay, and then I think we can just show people what it looks like over here. So we can just maybe go through the shelters and the quarantine shelter.
No problem. So if you just want to start on the outside, I must say to people, please excuse the mess. We cleaned it perfectly yesterday, but these trees in this weather, winter time, and then every morning this is what we deal with. So we put on a sun patio. If there is sun, it shines in beautiful, and they love to live there. And then these are all the different little shelters. And all the shelters do have the blankets, the beds inside. So once they go in, they're warm, secure, safe from the beginning. There's another 2 over here that have got the patios on the front. One of the main reasons for the patios is that we can put their food and water up on it. So it's not outside being rained on, etc. But then you can see through. It goes quite a far way back, and then they've got a beautiful bed and blankets in both of these. They also love to sit up here on the top, especially if there's sun. And this heavy duty, it's not really plastic, it's like a big sail.
Yeah.
Was kindly donated by somebody because the normal plastic that I buy, they kept breaking, jumping up and scratching.
Yeah, of course,
So now
shame.
this stuff, I have said to them, give it your best try. Let's see if you can break that. And then we also covered on that side the 2 as well. So all the roofs have basically been done. The big shelters don't need because they've got proper roofing on
Okay.
them. Then there's a very big shelter here, but it's got the 3 patios either side, as you can see, to house all the food. Because then it helps to keep the wind out at night. During the day, obviously they like to be outside, but if it rains or if it's cold overnight, then they do go in. And then you can see once you go in there, all their little beds, nice, warm, safe, secure.
Oh, shame. Yeah, you can see. And there's actually a little baby in here.
Who's in there? Oh, that's Rain. That's my beautiful Rain. Come, you my Rain. Come, you don't be scared, my Bobby. You my Bobby. Rain. And then you can see on the outside, the 3rd patio onto it with their food. Another little bed. There's Marge inside there as well. So they love these sort of spaces because they can still see out. They can get out anytime they want and roam around, but it's warm, it's secure.
Yeah.
Beautiful for them. Over here, just a little bit more of the beds, individual scratching places, places for people to sit when they come. And then this is the quarantine center. Just need to open. We do the same thing so the wind doesn't come in. In summertime, we actually roll all these bits of plastic on the sides up so that the sunlight can come in and it gets very hot so that you've got the through draft. But in winter, they need to be down and secure. So if you have a look in here, and just mind that there as well. This is the quarantine center. So any new babies, we've got their trays for them to do their thing in, their food and water bowls, and then several of the different blankets, little houses, places for them to sit. And you can see it's secured completely as well, so that even little ones can't get out if they come in here.
Shame. Okay.
And then over here is another very big shelter. I do all of this just to make it warmer for them.
And more
And
waterproof.
there's one in there as well. And then there we have all their beds where they can nicely lie down. And then on the other side there's another 3 small shelters, but we don't need to go there.
No, that's fine.
I think you've seen enough. So this is the section over here that desperately needs a piece of astroturf just to finish.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for showing us around and for speaking to us a little bit about the cats. I really do appreciate it. And for coming on our live especially. Thank you so much.
My darling, it's me that should be saying thank you for all that the Go-To Guy is doing to assist and help and aid these poor little fur babies. So from the 100 kitties and myself, a very big thank you for your love, care and concern for all these fur babies.
No problem. Okay. Thank you guys. We'll see you again this afternoon with Trikus. He's doing another episode of Rugby Rose. So we'll see you then.